following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix. Brother Mike is back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Thank you for tuning into the program today. Today's Bible study, The Woke Revival. It's well underway in the United States of America. Hey, call somebody quickly and tell them the radio program's on while I make some announcements. Thanks for your help. This is Brother Mike. I am the professional counselor. 39 years of it, by the way, at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're downtown on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. If you go to the website, HardcoreChristianity.com, you'll see all of our ministry services available. Most of them obviously are free. Thursday and Friday nights are our preaching and teaching, healing and deliverance services. They both start at 7 p.m. Both are broadcast live on our YouTube teaching channel, youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. When you go to the website, please sign up for one of our seminars. We have a women's only seminar that is highly anointed every other month. The next one is in March. It's always on the third Saturday of the month, 9 o'clock in the morning. My teaching class for deliverance and healing is the fourth Saturday of every month. It starts at noon. And we also have a monthly seminar that's usually on the last Friday of the month. All this information, of course, is all on the website. All the seminars are free. All the radio archived shows are on the website. The PayPal button's on the website for you to send in another donation. Thank you very much for your help. 2020 was a fantastic year, another record year for your giving. Thank you for that. If you need a receipt for your giving, send me a message at mike@hardcorechristianity.com. Just send me an email and I'll mail it out instamatically. Thank you for all the referrals you sent to Sister Karen. She's on the home page of the website, and she'd love to list your house for sale. She loves working with born-again, Spirit-filled Christians, of course. The Woke Revival. Folks, Satan's taking over America, and nothing's going to stop him now. The only way to beat him back is with satellite operations, resisting his moves and his destruction. We've now gone too far. America is going to be set up for the rapture and the tribulation now. There's nothing can be done to stop Satan taking over the country. How did he do it? Well, he used his brain, which Christians don't do. He fights dirty, which Christians don't do. They won't even fight. And he is determined, and he has specific goals. And from the 1960s till now, he's been setting up a series of programs to destroy our country, attacking our youth and destroying their minds, attacking our morals and mopping them up with drugs and sex, rock and roll, alcohol, prescription drugs, you name it. Now he's come for the church. He's been working on the church for decades to turn it into a seeker-friendly outfit that is devoid of the moving and the power of the Holy Ghost, just exactly like the Bible predicted. These verses sound like they were written yesterday. 2 Peter chapter 3, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Matthew chapter 7, Jesus said, quote, beware of false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. 2 Peter chapter 2, these people infiltrating the church. The churches are being converted by who? 2 Peter chapter 2, the apostle specifically says who they are. They have eyes full of adultery, he said, and they cannot cease from sin. That means they're addicted to it. They beguile unstable souls. Their hearts have been exercised with covetous practices. They have cursed children, which have forsaken the right way, and they have gone astray. Every summer at the Arizona Deliverance Center, the first Saturday of every month, we have a children's deliverance service. You wouldn't believe the parents that bring preteen children to these services and how infected with demons they are. You literally wouldn't believe it. Even if you were watching it, you probably wouldn't believe it. Satan has taken over the young woke generation. 2 Timothy chapter 4, Paul tells Timothy to do certain things in light of the future woke Christianity. He says, quote, preach the word, be instant in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all patience and doctrine. That's exactly what I've been doing for the last 19 years on this radio program right here in Maricopa County. That section of text describes it perfectly. Paul said, quote, the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts. They will heap to themselves teachers having itchy ears. Itching ears. They will turn away their ears from truth, and they will grab fables. Greek word muthos. The Greek word muthos means myths. That's where we get our English word myths from. Galatians 1, chapter 1 says, Paul said to the woke Galatians, quote, I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you to the grace of Christ, to another gospel. There isn't really another, Paul says, but there are some of you, some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Christ. He says, if anybody comes and preaches to you any other gospel, even if it's an angel from heaven, he said, let him be cursed. Anathema is the Greek word. It means to place a curse on someone. Wow, that's anti-woke there. As we said before, Paul said, I say now again, if anyone preaches any other gospel than what you receive from us, they are to be cursed. This is serious business, preaching the gospel, isn't it? 2 Corinthians chapter 11. If he comes to you preaching another Jesus, Paul says there's another Jesus out there. That's the Greek word for another there is allos. It means something that looks or appears to be very similar to the original. Jesus and Paul then says there's also another spirit out there. If you receive another spirit, another there is the Greek word heteros. Heteros means a difference, something different, totally different from the other. Allos is something similar. Heteros is something totally different. These are familiar spirits he's talking about that get into the church and they teach false doctrine, using people who are infected with them and to tickle the ears so that they will yield to myths in the church. Then he says there's another gospel out there. Of course there's another gospel. The mega churches, the TV preachers, the prosperity gospel, the seeker-friendly gospel, the happiness, peace, love, prosperity, and abundant life gospel. That's a heteros, a totally different gospel from the true gospel. Paul's warning about it. You can see it happening all through our society. Woke is taking over. It's being led by the biggest gun of them all, and soon will become the biggest of the big. The Hillsong church denomination, and that's what it is with the denomination now, believe it or not. They left the Assemblies of God years ago because they got too big. They didn't want to take any orders or have any restrictions from the Assembly of God religion, so they just founded their own church denomination. This thing is sweeping the world. This thing is the epitome of another Jesus, another gospel, and another spirit. It couldn't be more perfectly aligned to these scriptures in Corinthians and Galatians that Paul is talking about. The people are bewitched. It's a personality cult denomination. They recruit high-profile celebrities who are woke, and they preach a seeker-friendly gospel, a friendly gospel, a gospel where you can behave any way you want to and still be called a Christian. The system is so big now, it's out of control. They can't keep track of their leadership. For example, Pastor Lentz, I did 2 radio shows on him last year. He was a serial adulterer and was open to homosexuality in the church as being considered normal. His daughter was one of the Antifa anti-police protesters. Many gay advocacy groups have come out and said that Hillsong is secretly pro-gay, but they won't announce it publicly yet. Brian Houston has been affirmative of gay behavior in the church, covered by God's love. They've had Roman Catholic masses at Hillsong. They've had circus performances and laser light shows and Grammy award-winning bands and Christian rock in their churches. They have sleazy Christmas performances. The women's seminar, the naked cowboy was parading around. They've had Christmas services every year with lust-ridden women dancing all over the stage. They have Christmas parties involving naked Santa. Esther Houston published on her Instagram account a picture of her and another woman wearing very little, with naked Santa standing between them. This is the cult of lust. This is what Paul was talking about. They are consumed by their own lusts. It's happening all over the place. The biggest church denomination in the United States, the Southern Baptists, they are collapsing. They are splitting because they've been woked, and they're letting in homosexuality, transgenderism, all kinds of other demonic practices. The Southern Baptists are going to collapse. The Methodists have split. The Lutherans have split. Why? There's another gospel out there, folks. There's different spirits out there taking over the church. Paul warned that Christians could have demons and that they could take over the church. These spirits are moving in on us. If you have picked up a spirit from somebody who prayed over you at church, they put their hands on you, which Paul specifically said to Timothy, do not do. Do not become a partaker in another man's sins. If you went through a fire tunnel or a prayer tunnel or some prophet, I use that term loosely, laid their hands on you, you need to come for deliverance now. If you're a born-again Christian, you're eligible for free counseling and deliverance services at the Arizona Deliverance Center, 602-636-5800. You don't have to go the way of Hillsong. You don't have to go with another Jesus or another gospel or another spirit. You can be saved.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.